Okay, go ahead.
Hi, my name is Julia Durig, and I hope I can be your music coach. What I want to coach you with, and I want to see that you can do, is I want you to be able to sound professional when you're playing the piano. I want you to be happy with what you sound like on the piano. We want you to do it as quickly as you can, and we want to make sure that you discover it. Now, the name of my method is the Durig Discovery Method, not because I discovered it, but because I want you to discover it. It's also really a salute to the many students I've had, over 6,000 students that I've taught as individual lessons, because they told me and they asked me the questions that needed to be answered for them. It's really important because not everybody has the same questions, but we want to make sure that they discover things themselves. It's kind of interesting because if you discover something on your own, you know what? You never forget it. But if I tell you something, then you think, I better remember that. I better remember that. And if you have to do that, it's really the wrong road. You're on the wrong path. Because what's happening is that you're trying to remember what I think or what I say. What you need to understand is, and you need to discover is, how would I do it as a student? Why would I do it that way? And make sure that everything that we do makes absolute sense to you. We use a sound approach to the why of music. Sound because obviously it's something we're listening to, and sometimes we forget that you have to listen and you better not be bored, and you sure don't want to drive other people crazy when you're playing. So that's the sound. And sound because it's intelligent and sound or sensible. So sound has really a double meaning there. If it makes sense, you don't forget it either, because then you can refigure it if it makes sense. And that discovery part is really, really important. The other thing is that when you're playing, you're going to find out that you can be a speed reader. So I hope to coach you in speed reading, because nothing is worse than going through a song, not even hearing the notes because you're playing them so slow. When I was a student, I was always told to play everything slowly. Play it slowly until you know it. Don't forget to count. They give you all kinds of instruction. And of course, it's very intimidating because you're worrying about everything. That's something we don't want you to do, because there's no reason for you to be intimidated. If you want to know something, you should be free to ask it. Now, I've been teaching so many people that I probably had a lot of questions that you already have in your head. So hopefully I'll be able to coach you on those before you even have to think about them. The other thing is that when we're telling you that we want you to sound professional, it means that we want you to do it not only so that you're pleased with it, but when other people are listening while you're playing, while you're so-called practicing. I never use that word. I hate the word practice. I think we're discovering music and playing it all the time. We're not doing that, let's do it for an hour kind of thing. So that's really, really important, how we think about practice. We don't think in terms of practice, we think in terms of let's play it. When you play it, you're actually learning it, but you can't learn it well if you're dragging through it. You don't hear the melody, you don't even know where it is. So we're going to show you how to overcome that. And if you've taken lessons before, I think you'll really, really be surprised. If you're just starting it, I think you'll really be enjoying it too. And you'll really be advancing at a very fast pace. One of the reasons is that when we play something, suppose I told you that if I'm teaching somebody for 6 weeks, they could play almost anything they wanted to and it wouldn't make any difference what it was. Whether it was popular or classical or jazzy, I don't know, because I don't know what you like. I never want you to play for me. I don't want you to learn any lesson for me. I'm a teacher, or any teacher. I used to learn when I was a kid again. I was learning for my teacher. I had to please the teacher. So he happened to like Bach. Well, I liked it, but not too much. I liked Beethoven better, but okay. And then I never played anything like that for a long time. So anyway, I was trying to please him all the time. I wanted to make him happy. He was a guy that never smiled. But I thought that was terrible. I said, I got to get this guy. I'm going to make him smile. And I think I was 9 years old or something like that. I never got him to smile. He was always very strict and stern and very negative. You used the wrong finger. You're not counting. You didn't practice. You didn't. Everything was you didn't, you're not, you're not. And I was really trying so hard because I really was one of those apple polishers, especially a little girl, wants to really please everybody. But anyway, it was really funny with him. I never got him to really smile or say happy things. So you don't have to play for the teacher. Because guess what? That teacher that I had when I was 9 years old, He's dead a long time, I know, because he was a lot older than I was. And of course, I thought he was like 100 years older than I was, but he was a lot older than I was. Now, if I was learning to play for him, what good did it do? I was learning to play the songs he liked. I was learning to play what? To please him? No, there's only one person you ever have to please when you're playing, and that is yourself. You're the final authority. You're the one who makes the decisions about it. You're the one who says, I played it well or I didn't. Anything that you want to think. It's up to you to feel that confidence because you're able to play. And when you can do something quickly, and you can do it right away, which is what we guarantee, then you're going to find out, hey, I can do this. Then you can do the next step. And everything is tied together. So you're going to be enjoying what we're doing. But the most important thing is that, remember, this is a discovery method. Oh, I didn't finish my sound approach line, okay? So I'll go back to that for a minute. It's a sound approach because we told you that it has to make sense. And we said to the why of music. And why do things happen like this in music? How come some people can play by ear? How come some people read notes but don't read them well, and there's some people who read notes and do very badly with them? How come my teacher told me I don't have any rhythm? How come the teacher told me I can't count? How come the teacher told me I have a terrible ear? Everything that they want to blame, they blame on the student. I'm going to tell you that I'm going to take full responsibility for your ability. Because one of the things that happens is that if the student hasn't learned, it's because the teacher hasn't taught you right. So sometimes we have to figure out a different approach. And the different approach is the sound approach to why things happen in music so that you can accept them as logical and sensible. Because the first time that you ever think anything is logical and sensible, guess what? You can look for the answer. If something is really stupid and you have to wait for the teacher to tell you, then it isn't logical, sensible, or understood. So you want to remember that you discover it. And so many of the things that I have done, I really have to salute my students because, again, they were the ones who either told me something that I never thought of that way or asked me a question and I had to think about it and we thought about it together. I've never told anybody that, I'll teach it to you later. And one of the reasons they do that is because either the teacher doesn't know the piece. When I asked my teacher to play Boogie Woogie for me, he said, no, you don't want to play that. That's just garbage. I never thought about it, but when I grew up and when I was teaching, I said, I just realized why he didn't teach me how to play Boogie Woogie. First of all, he didn't like it. Second of all, he didn't know how because he only played classical pieces and, he just never played it. So he was very negative about it, and then he made me a snob. I'm a classical player and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, that's our first part of my introduction to you about what it is. And we're going to be covering other areas that we do. Like, for example, I'll just give you a short little synopsis of it here. We want you to be a speed reader. We want you to be able to play anything you want to play. We're going to teach you to improvise. We're going to teach you to know and understand chords and build chords. And we're going to do it in a very short period of time. You're going to find out that you can do it. A lot of the people I've done videotapes before for radio, TV stations, and we did a 6-lesson plan with people that I had only taught for 6 weeks. And I can tell you, the things that they did would amaze you. And I'm sure you would be pleased to do any one of them, and actually you could do all of them.